Hey everybody, Console Collector here. For today's video, I want to talk about some popular games that I do not like. I've been collecting a very long time, and with a collection like this, you're bound to pick up games that you don't like. I mostly pick up games that I want to play or try or I know I enjoy, but occasionally you pick up games you're taking a gamble on, and sometimes even the most popular, beloved titles just aren't for you. So we're going to take a look at a few of those games that I have in my collection that I just don't enjoy. Now, for the most part, a lot of these games are really popular, they sold well, but again, for me personally, I just don't like them. One last thing before we get started. You may be wondering, why do I keep games in my collection that I don't like? Well, there could be a number of reasons for that. Might be part of a subset, might be part of a collection, or maybe I want to go back to them at another time. I'm a true believer in the right time, the right place. So maybe right now I don't like the game, maybe I will later on, who knows. But these are all games that I feel like have some redeeming qualities, but at the time of the filming of this video, I'm just not into them and I don't enjoy them. There's games that I liked as a kid that I don't like now, and then there's games I didn't like as a kid that I like now. So you just never know what you're going to feel about a game in the future. So that's the main reason why I hang on to these games. With all that said, let's take a look at a few popular games in my collection that I do not like. Kicking off this list, we have Pokemon Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon for the Nintendo 3DS. I'm a huge Pokemon fan. I've been playing the games ever since I was a kid, and I've played all the mainline games and a ton of side games for many years. But Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, I feel like, really took the franchise in a bad direction. It really pains me and left a sour taste in my mouth that Pokemon ended its handheld line of games on Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon. I believe a franchise like this should have went out in a swan song, had a true masterpiece of a game, but instead we got these. I know a few Pokemon fans that really love these games, and to each their own, but again, for me, a longtime player, these games did not sit well with me. A couple complaints I have about this game is they're too easy, first of all, like way too easy. They hold their hands. I know these games weren't targeted towards me, a longtime player, but yeah, they were just too easy. Another complaint I have is they took away the traditional gyms. That really hurt me in this game. That totally turned me off Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon. For years, it was all about collecting Pokemon and training them up, taking them to gyms, battling and collecting badges and going to the Elite Four. But instead of all that, you get to take your Pokemon to trials. And I just felt that was so boring and I missed the gyms. I really didn't like it. I'm all for going in different directions with games, especially beloved series like Pokemon, but I feel like the trials are just a bad idea. A good example of making change for the better is like in Breath of the Wild, where they got rid of temples and they added shrines and the big boss battles and things like that. I think that worked really well, and it still felt like a Zelda game. Sun and Moon's not all bad though. I do like some of the new Pokemon designs, such as Mudsdale. I thought he was really done. Incineroar is pretty cool as well. So there is some good Pokemon. It's just the overall story and setup of the game I did not enjoy. Pokemon did redeem itself in my opinion. Yeah, Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon definitely were a bad way to go out in the 3DS, but they released new games in completely new directions like Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and even Pokemon Legends Arceus, which really changed the formula, but I think they handled it really well, and I love those games. So are Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon bad games? No, they're not. I just don't like the direction they went with the story. Next up is BioShock, and I feel like this one's going to upset a few people. First off, I want to say is BioShock is not a bad game. I understand why people like it. One of my best friends loves this series, but for me personally, I didn't enjoy it. BioShock felt like work to me. It's just one of those games that you dread playing, and to me personally, you should not dread or feel discouraged about playing a game. Games should be fun, and I did not have fun with BioShock, and after a long day of work and I had a few hours to play games, I just didn't even want to put BioShock in my PS3. That's how much I didn't enjoy what I did play of it. Graphically, it's fine. The story was fine. It just wasn't engaging to me. The gameplay and control is okay. Again, it's not a bad game. It just didn't sit well with me, and I didn't enjoy it. Whenever BioShock comes up in a conversation, people are always shocked that I don't like it. And I explain how it wasn't engaging, it wasn't fun, I just didn't like it. Then they say, well, maybe your problem is you're playing BioShock 1. You should try to play a different BioShock. For example, BioShock Infinite. Apparently that one is much better, and everyone says that one's definitely worth playing over the first one. Maybe that's the case with the original BioShock. Maybe it's not the best in the series. You know, sometimes the second or the third game in a series is the best. I can think of a handful of games where the second game in the franchise is a lot better than the first. So if that is the case with BioShock, then maybe I should give another one a try. But for the time being, the original BioShock wasn't a game that I enjoyed. Alright guys, get your pitchforks ready. I'm talking about Super Mario Galaxy for the Wii. That's right, I don't like this game. Let me explain why. I don't like this game on the Wii. Let me just start off by saying that, the Wii. What killed it for me were those dang motion controls. I just really hate Wii motion controls. And a game like Super Mario Galaxy, I just struggled using that nunchuck and that Wiimote. I hated it. I tried several times to get through this game playing that way, and it just felt like work. Again, I don't want a game to feel like work. I want to enjoy a game, and I did not enjoy Mario Galaxy on the Wii. I don't think the story's bad. I don't think the game's bad. I kind of don't like where you're running around upside down on planets and stuff, but it all is just comes down to the controls for this game. It makes me not want to play it. It makes me not enjoy the game. It's 99% the controls' fault that I don't like Super Mario Galaxy. Now, I did play Mario Galaxy on the Super Mario 3D All-Stars for the Switch, and, you know, it's so much better, like, way better. It's playable to me, and I enjoy it way more on that. So I don't dislike Mario Galaxy as a whole, I dislike Super Mario Galaxy on the Wii. I really wish they did Super Mario Galaxy 2 on the Switch 3D All-Stars, because that game is just like this one on the Wii. I can't play it. I hate the motion controls. Alright, if you didn't hate me before with those other two games, you're probably going to hate me after this one. Halo on the original Xbox. Halo has a huge fan base, I know, and I'm not one of those people. I think the main reason why I don't like the Halo games is because I never played them back in the day. I did have an original Xbox that I got by trading my Dreamcast, but yeah, I never played the original Halo games. I've since picked them up as an adult and gave them a shot, and to me, they're just regular first-person shooters. I'm sure back in the day they were just like trailblazers. You know, you'd never seen anything quite like it. And I think it's part nostalgia for people that make it sound like it's so good. Because back in the time, I'm sure it was amazing playing online with friends and couch co-op and all that stuff. I'm sure it was a great time, but I missed that whole bandwagon back then. And yeah, I never had that experience. I actually tried to play some more recent Halo games as well. And again, they're just first-person shooters to me. I'm not a huge first-person shooter fan or player, so that's maybe also why I don't like the Halo games. I don't think they're bad. They're just not for me. I didn't have any fun with them. They just seem like standard first-person shooter games. Alright, the hate train is coming in full force again. Now we're going to talk about the Call of Duty franchise. Not an individual game, but just Call of Duty in general. I want to start off by saying I actually enjoy a lot of the Call of Duty campaigns. I've played several campaigns in Call of Duty and I enjoyed them. It's the online multiplayer that I just never got into, and there's a couple of reasons for that. First reason is I suck. You know, I'm not terrible at video games, but I'm not a pro by any means. And anytime I joined an online Call of Duty lobby, I just got destroyed. Especially back in the day in like Modern Warfare 2, yeah, I got absolutely just decimated online. I'd literally spawn in and be dead within seconds. So yeah, call me a noob, I guess, because I could not handle the online. The other reason, I'm just not a big fan of like deathmatch first-person shooter games, whether it's Call of Duty or Halo. You know, I'm just not really into that. Although on the flip side, I absolutely love Left 4 Dead 2's online and multiplayer deathmatch. So I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but yeah, something about the Call of Duty online and multiplayer matches, even with some friends, I just don't really enjoy it. I don't want to talk a bunch of trash about the series because most of them are pretty good. I do know there's a few entries in the series that hardcore fans don't like, but for the ones that I did play, I enjoyed the campaigns of. Like, for instance, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was great. I played Call of Duty World War 2, and I thought that was great. And the Black Ops campaigns are even really good. I even recently started the Call of Duty Cold War campaign, and the beginning part of that, when you're in like the 70s in that bar, I really enjoyed that. So there's definitely some great things about Call of Duty. It's just, I don't love them, and I don't like the online multiplayer part of it. Now we're going to talk about Baten Kaitos for the Nintendo GameCube. And I feel the same about the first one and the second one, Baten Kaitos Origins. So keep them both in mind while we're discussing this game. A couple of reasons why I don't like Baten Kaitos is I'm not a big RPG fan. I played several RPGs in my life, and only a few really got me into them, really just held on to me and were memorable. But this game was not memorable at all. This is another game that felt like work to me. I wasn't excited to go home and play it. I was never excited to put it in the GameCube and start my adventure. I just didn't like it. I was dreading playing this game. I never ended up finishing it because it felt like work. And like I mentioned before, I don't think that is good for gaming. The other reason why I don't like this popular beloved game is the card system. I hate card systems. I hate card-based games. I don't even like card games in real life. Pretty much anything to have to do with cards, I'm not into. And I know that's a very unpopular opinion because card-based games and card games in general are really popular in today's society. And I have no hate against it. It's just not for me. I personally think adding cards into a video game ruins it, at least for me. A good example is Back 4 Blood. I thought it'd be a fun, simple game like Left 4 Dead, but no, they had to put cards in it and power-ups and weird stuff, and I just didn't like that. It just doesn't sit well with me. Why do you guys gotta do that? Why does a first-person shooter need cards in it? It doesn't make sense to me. On the other hand, it makes more sense in an RPG like Baten Kaitos, but again, I feel like if they didn't have cards in this game, I would have enjoyed it a lot more. I'm definitely not the target audience for games like this. I know people love games with cards and stuff like that, and that's fine. This is a game for them. It's not a game for me. This is Powerblade for the original NES. This game is rare, it's expensive, and beloved by a lot of people, and I don't understand why. I picked this game in a lot a little while back, and I played it, and I didn't enjoy it. It was kind of a dumb concept to me. You're just this dude throwing a boomerang around and stuff. Like, it's just a generic platformer for the NES, and I didn't really enjoy it at all. It's not that it's too hard or anything like that. I made it pretty far in the game. I just found it was boring, and the boomerang was just a weird item. Like, props to them for doing something different than a gun or just beating people up. But yeah, I didn't enjoy Powerblade. I did try the second one on my NES Classic because I don't have a physical card of it, and it was just more of the same. Just an average game with a weird weapon. So yeah, Powerblade series, just not for me. Last game we're going to talk about in today's video is Xenoblade Chronicles. Now, I played this game on the Nintendo 3DS. You can play it on the Wii, you can play it on the Switch now, but I did the 3DS version back in the day. I had high hopes for this game. It looked like a big open world fun game where you can explore. It wasn't too heavy on the RPG aspect, which I like because I'm not into crazy heavy RPGs and grinding. But after putting about 20 hours into this game, again, I wasn't hooked. It just didn't sit well with me. I want games to engage me. I want games that I'm excited to pick up and play. And I tried to get through Xenoblade Chronicles. I really did. I gave it a chance over and over and over. And again, it was just not for me. I wasn't having fun. And video games should be fun. I know Xenoblade is a beloved series and it's really popular, but as much as I try to play them, I just can't get into it. I don't know what it is. It's got to be me. It's the old saying, it's not you, it's me. In this case, it's definitely me because I've heard so many good things about this game. I would love to try this game again, maybe on the Switch, because I did find on the 3DS, I was getting even eye strain trying to look at the huge open worlds on such a tiny screen, so maybe that's a part of the reason why I didn't enjoy this game, was the tiny small 3DS screen. So yeah, I want to definitely try it out maybe in the future on the Switch. Maybe my opinions will change. Alright, so those were a few popular games that I do not like. How do you feel about the games I talked about today? Let me know in the comments below. Also, I'd like to know, what are some popular games that you don't enjoy or you don't like? Everyone has their own opinions with gaming, and it's nice to hear different perspectives on games. For instance, I know a lot of people love some of these games in today's list, so yeah, let us know in the comments below. What are some popular games that you don't enjoy? Alright, that's going to wrap up today's video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'd really appreciate it. You can follow me on social media. The information is on screen now and in the description below. I want to thank everybody for watching. I am the Console Collector, and until the next video, happy gaming.